Hey everybody, Jeff Slakey from the Alderbrook Resort at the Affordable Workforce Housing Summit put on by Peninsula Credit Union and other great organizations around the community. I'm now talking with Marty Crow, the Executive Director for Habitat for Humanities of Mason County. Hi Marty, how are you?
Good morning, Jeff. Thanks for having me here for the fireside chat.
Talk to me a little bit about the mission of Habitat for Humanities of Mason County.
Well, I think, the most fundamental way to state our mission is to produce opportunities for people for homeownership and people of need, and providing an opportunity for them to share in gaining equity within their own property ownership. And in that, I think the overall mission of Habitat International is to create a decent, affordable place for people to live. And I think in our organization here in Mason County, we really believe that the home is kind of the nucleus of the family. Families thrive when they have a good, solid place to live. So.
One of the goals is to end substandard housing. How do you work towards that?
Well, I think that what I said just a moment ago about a decent, affordable place to live is we really believe that people need a quality, safe place. And with that, when we remodel or build a house, we build it to certain standards. And we build it with energy efficiency in mind, with the intent that people can hopefully reduce overall energy costs in the future and create an opportunity for them to build personal wealth by not spending so much money on their housing costs.
Talk to me a little bit about the houses that you build on the spectrum that we're talking about today, the types of homes that folks are able to move into. Is that considered affordable workforce housing, or is that a step towards affordable workforce housing?
I would say that we are probably right in the middle of that, in that we use that AMI percentage, and we also use the same percentage as discussed today related to percent of income cost to homeownership or to housing costs, and we tried to keep in the 24 to 28% range of the family's income so that we aren't burdening the family. And with that affordability, many people don't know, but we bring the houses to the family at zero interest with no down payment, so the entry point is easier. We're building either remodeling a newer house or building a brand new house, which brings them into that category of affordable housing because of the no interest component.
Yeah,
we're making principal only payments.
Let's talk a little bit about the rehab that you guys do at the existing homes and how that gets into line with what we're talking about.
So yeah, when I use the word rehab, there's the combination of rehab of existing homes for home ownership and then to move families into, but then there's also rehabbing of existing homes that people own. So we have a parallel mission along with new construction where we do what we call home preservation. So we help many people stay in their homes longer by fixing and repairing certain things that they need repaired, frequently front porches, entryways, stairways. That program does build a lot of limited mobility ramps. I know we've talked about this before in the community. I mean, we have gotten some grant funding in the last couple of years, and partners have helped us move that program along to where we're helping 50, 60 families a year. And in years past, we might have only helped 10 or 12.
Wow.
So we've leveraged our skill set in construction and our valuable resource of volunteers to really drive that mission. And that mission, the great thing is by doing many projects a year, 3, 4 a month, we're helping many more people in the community. That's one of our board's directions, is try to help as many people as possible. We can financially and with our current volunteer base only build 1 to 2 houses a year, but we can do many, many of those home preservation projects, which is really exciting. And the great thing is people that are aging in place, we give them an opportunity to remain in their home or to make it safer and easier for them to enter and exit their home to get to and from appointments and things like that. So
you're really on the front lines when it comes to dealing with city government and county government when permitting processes and things like that. What are some barriers that you've seen moving through the Habitat builds that you think could be changed perhaps to benefit not only the homes you guys work on, but more affordable workforce housing?
Well, I think one thing that's been quite a discussion over the last several years, even about the time I came on to Habitat, the city was looking at their permitting fees and structures and actually did a reduction for a period. Now they're talking about increasing them again. We've given some data to the city. I mean, with our cost of construction, we know that a combination of the utility connection fees, the permitting fees, and utility, both water, sewer, and power utility fees, we're pushing north of 15, as high as 20% of our total construction costs. And so that's something we're very focused on, because we're partnering with the community to drive costs out of construction as best we can. And some of those fees are fixed, as you know, and it's very difficult. Every time they get raised, it's just another increment onto our construction costs, which is huge for us. And ultimately what that translates into is costs for the homeowner over a 30-year period, because that mortgage is going to have to pay that component of costs down over 30 years.
Additionally to the time for sending in the permits and then the return on that one, we have heard in other conversations where between a 16-month window perhaps of I know your builds are often quicker than that, but the change in construction costs over a time when the permitting is being evaluated, is that a concern for you
Yeah,
too?
it isn't as big of an impact to us, I think, partly because of the size and cost of our construction. But I do know material costs are climbing. They have been climbing over the last couple of years as the economy surged again. Definitely contractor costs have climbed greatly over the last couple of years. I think you'll hear that from almost anybody in the industry. But there are, when you go back to the actual permitting cycle, I feel that we've had great success with it. We've been recently building in the city. I haven't built in the county for a couple of years. But we have great success with the cycle of the permit. I will tell you that there's been some hiccups recently with us trying to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the city's inspection requirements, and then also that we're able to get inspections on the cycle that we need to try to keep pace. The great thing about Habitat, we're not under an enormous amount of timeline, and it's not mission critical, but there are times when we're trying to get things done to move on to the next phase. So,
how are you looking ahead to Habitat in 2019?
We're excited. We are just now, we were talking just a few moments ago, we're working on House 30. We are a combination of remodeling on House 30. We are nearing, I'd say, about the midpoint on House 29, which is up on Washington Street in Mountain View. Very excited about the family going into that house. We are projecting probably a mid to late March move-in for them. We call that the house blessing and dedication. They will hold a ceremony. We are working to remodel House 30, which is out at Shorecrest House, and that will probably also be the March-April timeframe. And then in probably April, May, we'll set foundation back up on Grandview for the same design, 3-bedroom, 2-bath that we're building now, and that will be House 31. So we probably will place 3 families in 2019, which will be the first year in Habitat's history that we've placed 3 families.
Wow.
So it's very exciting.
That is very exciting. Tell me then the growth of the people that you see who move into those homes.
Well, I think, as I said earlier, I think the power of having a quality place to call home creates a strong family, strong nucleus within that family. And what we've seen over the years is watching, young people flourish, graduate high school, go on to the military, go on to college, and that's exciting to me because we've created opportunity that hopefully stays with that family in the future.
Very nice. Marty Crow is the Executive Director for Habitat for Humanities of Mason County. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you.